Thousands of little-known athletes test their ambitions and abilities. The synchronicity of their teamwork. In a venue which has hosted hundreds of gold medalists, they answer the bell. And the crowd warms to the efforts which bond these athletes for life. Each runner seeks what the likes of Wyoming Attias, Jesse Owens, and Jim Thorpe found here. The glory of the challenge answered, the goal fulfilled, under the gun. These are the Penn Relays, where stars race in the footsteps of legends. The inaugural event at Franklin Field more than a century ago was the Penn Relay Carnival. Since then, the Penn Relays have grown to become one of the great events in the world of sport and one of the annual highlights on the American sporting calendar. Welcome inside venerable Franklin Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Everybody alongside Larry Rawson and with Leslie Maxey Leonard, I'm Jack Edwards. This is USA versus the World, presented by GMC Envoy at the Penn Relays 2000. It is a very blustery but warm spring day. I don't know if we're going to see any record set because of those winds, but very nice and comfortable down on the infield and in the track. And Larry Rawson, an unusual track layout here at Franklin Field.
Well, they have here, Jack. 400 meters is the normal length of a track, and that is true here. The outside 5 lanes. The inside 4, however, are 400 yards. And that means the start of a race will actually be back behind the starting line. The runners have to run extra distance, so the turns are a little tighter here.
This is the longest consecutively run track meet in the United States, the 106th running of the Penn Relays. And the first race we're going to be seeing is the college men's 4x100 meter relay. TCU has the collegiate record 38:04, and back in '91 that same school set the Penn Relays record.
They actually have the second fastest collegiate time of all time as well. There you see they'll be out in lane 6. That's the preferred lane. Florida was to be in 7, or they're a late scratch. The lane will be left open.
And for TCU, Lindell Frater runs the leadoff leg.
He is a junior from Jamaica. The second runner for them, also Ricardo Williams, is a senior, and he is from Jamaica as well.
LSU, Carlos Garcia running leadoff. And the gun is in the air. Clean start. And the first pass.
Watch and see who gets the baton first. Those are the leaders. The Horned Frogs of TCU appear to have the early lead, Jack.
Ricardo Williams stretching it out.
And he passes to Davis Patton, the junior from Dallas, Texas.
LSU has dropped the baton between Brew and Patterson. Meanwhile, up at the front, it's TCU. Patton handing to Kim Collins.
He is their star sprinter. Second fastest collegian right now at 100 meters. Look at him stretch things out for TCU.
See ya. Kim Collins, 39:05 unofficially.
I think Collins just shrugged his shoulders, frustrated there. He looked back, and it was over 39 seconds, probably a mild annoyance, but happy with the victory. And for a Championship of America, every high school or college race that's a Championship of America event, all team members get a Penn Relays watch. Very coveted in track and field. Relays are key here, and baton passing is really making the difference. When the athlete is about to accept the baton, he turns, and he's already paced it off with his feet and put a marker on the ground. He starts running when they're about 22 to 28 feet away, and you try and get an almost full flight. You reach back with that arm at the last minute. You pump 2 or 3 times to get your head of steam up, so to speak. And here's the man who had the greatest steam out on that course. He ran the fastest leg easily. Kim Collins, 10.07 1/100th of a second here. He has run already for 100 meters in an open competition this year.
The official results of the college men's 4x100 relay. Texas Christian University, TCU winning in 39:06. Middle Tennessee State ahead of Arkansas for second place. Let's have a word with the winners. Leslie Maxey Leonard is in the infield for us. Leslie?
Hi, we're here with Kim Collins, who was the anchor leg for TCU. You're ranked second in the nation right now in 100 meters. feel about your passing? It looked pretty good from my end.
It felt really good. I know my guys won't let me down. And I just had to finish what they started.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
USA versus the world, presented by GMC Envoy at the Penn Relays, is brought to you by GMC Envoy. Do one thing, do it well. And by Nike. Maurice Green, 3 times a gold medalist at the 99 Worlds, is coming up as the USA takes on the world at the Penn Relays. Emotional stories. You measure track and field with numbers, and in numbers, the Penn Relays are second to none.
Well, you're right, Jack, and I think the temperatures are going to be around 70 degrees for a high today. Over 50,000 spectators here for today's competition, bringing the 3-day total to about 105,000 people. Meet Director Dave Johnson's done a great job.
From ages 8 to 80, there are going to be more than 20,000 competitors in this 3-day festival, but the spotlight really is on the elite Americans who think about podiums in Sydney.
Right, and the stars are definitely out here in this competition, led by the incomparable Marion Jones. Marion Jones has shown great early season form. She is shooting very comfortably 5 gold medals. She'll be running here the 100 and the 200-meter relay. There is Michael Johnson, again racing well, hoping to replicate that magical 1996 year he had. He's going at 400 meters on the relay. And there is the world's fastest human being. That is the back that you're seeing of Maurice Green. He'll be running 100 meters and 200 meters on a relay competition here at Penn. Great competition that you'll be seeing.
Bringing us closer to the personalities of this great event, Leslie Maxey Leonard. Leslie?
Thanks, Jack. We're in for a good one today. John Drummond of the men's 4x100 relay predicted that they will run a sub-38 time. Now, world record holder Maurice Green was a little bit agreeable, but somewhat more conservative. He said they had a great stick practice, which is always a good sign.
This is USA versus the world, the men's 4x100 meter relay. The world and American record, 37:40. And the Penn Relays record, 38:66. Maurice Green, 2-time 100-meter gold medalist in the World Championships. Green, looking toward this race, has a totally technical approach.
You can't just get out and go in the 100 meters. You have to have a strategy in that also. I say for the first 30 meters is very powerful, but you want to use as less energy as possible. So it's probably something around 30%. And then you try to build up from 30 to 65, 70. You want to accelerate to your top end speed, which is 27 miles an hour. And you hold that you can only hold that from 30, from about 85 to 95. And then from the last 10 to 15 meters of the race, you're just trying to stay strong.
Well, Maurice Green certainly can stay strong.
Well, he's really improved dramatically working under the HSI group and John Smith, the coach out there in California. And boy, he gets out well, holds top end speed extremely well. There you see Jamaica will be in this competition, and there's their team of Chris Duncan. Pat Jarrett will be second. Ray Stewart, the 35-year-old, great example really for all the sprinters in Jamaica, will be on the 3rd leg, and their anchor will be Chris Williams, a rising star.
Gun is in the air, and it's a clean start. John Drummond running on the outside lane. The pass to Tim Montgomery is clean. Montgomery with a huge lead. Now Tim Harden. Harden looking for Green. And there goes Maurice Green. Rosan Griffin, another American, giving him a run. And it is Maurice Green in 38.4, unofficially a Penn Relays record.
Jack, the second U.S. team ran very well. It had Curtis Johnson leading off. Ken Brokenbaugh having the year of his life at age 31 was second. Brian Howard running on the 3rd leg. He trains with Maurice Green, and Roshan Griffin anchored. That was an excellent, excellent race by both Americans. You know, this is what we're known for in America when it comes to track and field, is 400 meters and down. Here's the first exchange. Watch carefully. See who gets the baton first. That's the person in the lead. Watch them power down the backstretch down there right now. Good stick pass there as it was passed off to Brokenberg on the inside. There is now coming down the home stretch on the outside left of your screen. World's fastest man, right-hand side. Another man who's running really well, Rosan Griffin, known more for his 200-meter prowess. And there is the Michael Jordan, Maurice Green, my tongue is out of my mouth look. And Green, an articulate, very, very fine spokesman for the sport, enjoys himself as he crosses the line, leading his 4x100-meter team to victory.
And the depth of the United States shown off proudly in this 4x100, going 1 and 2 with Jamaica third as the U.S. takes on the world. Leslie Maxey Leonard has corralled the winners, still out of breath. Let's go down to her. Leslie.
We're here with the victorious men's 4x100 meter relay. You didn't quite get sub 38, but you did run a good race. Talk about that win.
Well, you know, the wind was a little tough today. You know, thank God it's not raining, but it's windy. But I just thank God we got the baton around, you know, good safe passes, everybody walking away injury-free. You know, and it was just fun. It was good to see USA go 1-2, and that gives you a preview of what we're going to do at the Olympic Games.
Okay. Now, you said to stay #1, you got to train like you're #2. How's it going for you?
Oh, it's going good. My training is going good. I'm working hard every day, and I'm just waiting on the season to come by.
All right. Congratulations, guys. Good job.
Thank you. Woo, #1, baby. Yeah.
Well, Americans are jumping for joy here at the Penn Relays 2000. And a woman who has a lot of jump in her step is coming up. It's Marion Jones in the women's 4x100. Stay with us.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist in the high hurdles, Lee Calhoun, raced here in 1957 and set a meet record that wasn't broken for 10 years. Josh Culbreth, in his specialty at 400 meters, was a 3-time winner. Culbreth was an important cog in Morgan State's relay teams, which came to prominence in the 1950s. Herb McKinley, this Illinois graduate and Olympic medalist, in 2 years of competition, won 6 Penn Relays championships.
The USA versus the world meet continues, presented by GMC Envoy, the women's 4x100 meter relay. That would seem to be a chemically augmented world record set by East Germany back in 1985, Larry.
You want to elaborate on that, Jack? 50,000 plus spectators here, and we have Marion Jones out there on the track, the 2-time world 100-meter gold medalist. And as I said at the top, she very comfortably says she's going to compete in 5 Olympic events.
She had the bad back last year. A lot of worries about that. But she says the problem with her back is history.
My training is going better than it ever has. You know, something unfortunate happened in Seville, but I've moved past that and I'm looking for the future now. And I think you can see that by my performance a couple of weeks ago in California in the 400 meters, that I'm ready to run. I'm ready to go out there and make it all happen.
And she can make it all happen with her eye on 5 gold medals in Sydney and the crowd coming alive with superstar athletes on the track.
Truly, 3 of the 4 people were on the American record team that set this American record at the 97 Worlds.
You see that lanes 1 through 4 are open. They'll only run on the wide side of the track. Keep your eyes on the USA red team, which is running on the inside of the 2 USA teams. Jamaica also has a strong team here.
Christy Gaines on the leadoff for the United States.
Christy Gaines leading off.
Clean passes. Tori Edwards running the second leg for the U.S. Now Inger Miller takes off. Clean pass. Marion Jones waiting in the middle of the turn. And here's a challenge.
There goes Marion Jones out in front, though, Jack. Look at her power away.
Marion Jones gliding through the finish.
Jamaica almost gets up for second place. However, it looks like it's going to be the American blue team of Passion Richardson, Nancy Perry, Andrea Anderson, and Latasha Jenkins getting second. Marion Jones, however, certainly brought things home well once she got the baton.
Unofficially in a Penn Relays record timing. 42:33.
And that would easily be the fastest time in the world, besting the Australian team, which had 42:99 earlier this year. Fastest time in the world, despite these windy day here for these relay exchanges. Watch, they hit a certain mark there, and athletes take off, pump your arms hard, then reach back the third pump and take that baton. Hopefully it's right there. The key is timing. Watch Jones. She gets away. Actually, they run up at each other. Look at that bad pass. We can't do that in the Olympics, and you can't win Olympic gold with a mistake like that. Her great talent lets her forge this much of a lead 100 meters later. Marion Jones for the USA red team.
Leslie Maxey Leonard is with the winners down below. Leslie.
All right, Inger, you had a breakout year last year. How did you feel coming around that turn, and how was that pass?
I felt really good. I mean, we practiced some good handoffs, and one of them was a little bungled, but I think overall we did really well. We ran a really fast time.
Okay. And Marion, 49.59 last week at Mount Sac. Was this just a walk in the park for you?
No, without a doubt. It's such a pleasure to come here and run in front of these fans, and when you can assemble a group of ladies like this, I'll be here anytime.
All right. How about you, Christy?
Oh, we had a good time. It was a great crowd. We ran a good time with one day of practice, so I'm happy.
Hey, congratulations, ladies. Hey, Tori, thanks for joining us. How did you feel on your legs?
I felt pretty good. It's a great crowd out here, and we had good sticks, and I'm happy about it.
All right, back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Leslie, thank you. The official results, the USA red team with Jones the anchor, 42:33, fastest time in the world this year despite that obvious bad last exchange. You wonder what this foursome can run in Sydney. We are at the Penn Relays for the year 2000.
He ran on a distance medley team and clocked a 4-minute, 4-second mile. He also led Villanova to a total of 8 relays championships. Ted Meredith on our 1912 Olympic team was preeminent in the world at 440 and 880 yards in his day and had 5 carnival records. This man, Euless Peacock, was the equivalent 65 years ago of what Carl Lewis did as a great sprinter and a great long jumper with, again, a storied career at the Penn Relays.
The men's 4x200 meter relay, the world and American record set by the Santa Monica Track Club in 1994, 1:18.68. The meet record set by that same group 2 years previous to that. Maurice Green, fabulously talented athlete who has worked so hard at his craft. If you think that he just pours the gas on the fire, think again. This man has a plan.
You got to take the curve a lot easier than you do the 100 meters. You would come out very easily but powerful in the curve, about 30–45%, and then coming off of the curve, running the straightaway, you want to be very strong and powerful. So you'd be like 85 to 95% on that, and then trying to stay strong coming on home.
Well, Jack, you know, when he says that you got to ease back, what he's really saying is no one runs 200 meters or even 100 meters all out. And 100 meters, they don't even run it all out because you start to tie up. And there you see him beginning to take his position here in the 4x200 meters. Jack, there's Ken Brokenbaugh, who has the world's fastest time at 100 meters, even faster than Maurice Green so far this year. At age 31, he has rededicated himself to the sport, being coached by Marion Jones's coach, Trevor Graham, down in North Carolina. And he said, I am really focused on trying to make this Olympic team. I realize this might be my last shot. He will lead off here and run the first leg. Brian Howard will run the second, Roshan Griffin the third, and Maurice Green the fourth. There you see the lane assignments up there. The U.S. in the middle of the track. Maryland Elite on the outside has a good team, as well as potentially the Bahamas. But this team should run away with everything for the United States.
Gun is in the air. Clean start.
USA national team, white.
Brokenbaugh.
Lane 6. Ken Brokenbaugh.
Making up a lot on the stagger here.
Ken Brokenbaugh running right now on the edge of the white line there. He should be okay, Brokenbaugh is.
Clean pass to Brian Howard.
Howard trains with Maurice Green. You can
Team USA. Sub 120 here at the Penn Relays unofficially.
119.9, I think, is the time right now. And to show you where he would be, at just under 119.5 gets you into the top 5 times ever. So it's a very respectable time on a day when the wind has been between 10 and 15 miles an hour, gusting, swirling around this track. You see the baton pass on the outside lane as they're coming down the stretch. A clean exchange. There's more safety also, let me add this, in 200 meters than 100. They take less risk. The 100 meters guys will get very close to the end of the baton exchange zone and risk fouling, if you will, before 200 meters will. Notice the turnaround and how safe a pass it here was for the American team out in lane 6. Easy building of victory here going on with Roshan Griffin, the ex-LSU NCAA 200-meter champion. Hands off to Maurice Green. Again, a safe pass. And Green just continues to elevate his game year after year. Look at the strength and power. Upper body seems a little stronger to me. I might be wrong. It's hard to tell, but he's muscular by nature anyway. And with Michael Johnson focusing on 400 meters, he was the dominant 200-meter runner in the world last year, Jack.
You saw the striations in his arm muscles and his shoulders. 1:19.92, the winning time for USA White. Let's check out with Leslie.
All right, you guys, you run this relay once in a blue moon. How do you prepare for something like this?
Well, you really don't. You just have to wish that everybody's in the right amount of shape. You know, when you get elite athletes like this together, you have to use your mind, don't get overexcited, and make safe exchanges.
Okay. Maurice, you wanted to come through this meet injury-free. It looks like you have. What's next for you?
I really don't know. Back to training. You know, my first meet is on the 7th of June, so I'm just getting myself prepared for that.
All right. Well, we've enjoyed you guys today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The women's 4x200-meter relay is coming up next. Marion Jones anchors one of the U.S. efforts, so stay with us.
Hello.
Where beauty meets brawn, the GMC Envoy.
Welcome back to Franklin Field in Philadelphia, where for the 106th consecutive year, the Penn Relay Carnival is taking place, and this is the women's 4x200 coming up, presented by GMC Envoy. Marion Jones, part of this relay combination. Does she run her own race in this? Well, only to a point.
A lot of people say they don't really concentrate on the competitors, but I know who's in the race, and I know some people might go out a little harder, but I don't want to, when I come off the curve, to be behind. So, for example, I always try and get out of the blocks as fast as I can before everybody else. Then my first 14 steps will be all out. Then I'll start coming up slow at about 150 meters. I'll see where I am in the race. When I come up that curve, it's 100%, as long as I can hold it.
She is really more fit, I think, than she was last year, Jack. She's embarked on a tremendous program during the winter with her coach, and she showed it in a 400-meter race she ran in California just recently, running a second better than she did last year.
And one of the fastest 400 times ever run by an American woman. 2 U.S. teams. The blue team in lane 6 is the team anchored by Marion Jones. The anchor of the red team is Latasha Jenkins.
There you see Jones as she begins to stretch, and she's waiting. Obviously, she's got several other people in front of her.
first leg for Jones's team.
Anderson, formerly of UCLA, a newcomer to the open, if you will, division of being a college graduate and trying to pursue running as a living here.
Cheryl Taplin out of LSU running the first leg for the other U.S. team. We look for the first exchanges. And Anderson hands off to Latasha Colander.
And it was Colander with a slight lead for that American team in red. Correction, the American team in blue, which is going to be Marion Jones's anchor. And there you see them running out in lane 6.
That is the second lane from the right, and Colander has a sizable lead. And she hands the stick to Nancine Perry.
Perry, formerly of Texas, former NCAA champion. Look at the powerful strides that she's got. Running a very strong turn.
Big separation here. Look at the distance now between Perry and second place. This is a one-team race, and guess who's next?
Look at that. Look at the expression on Nancine Perry's face.
Perry hands off to Jones. This is a tremendous time, and look at Jones tear.
Look at the margin of the lead she's got on another American team, a top national team, and then look at that. That's sensational.
This is like Secretariat at the Belmont Stakes. This is a one-woman race, a one-team race. Marion Jones going for the wire. The record, 1:28.15. That was a world record. If that time is right, this is a world record at the Penn Relays.
And by a huge margin, the world record before 1:28.15 seconds, 1 minute 28.15 100ths of a second. She shattered the record. The average time right there, 1:28. You get under that, Jack. That's 22 seconds per woman. That is flying. And I've just been handed the unofficial split from Marion Jones. I've never seen a faster split by a woman at 200 meters on a relay. 20.8 of a second. Sensational performance by Marion Jones and these American women on a windy day here at the Penn Relays. Coming down the home stretch, you know, this isn't necessarily the most powerful team ever. Andrea Anderson, a newcomer, if you will, in lane 6. The first baton pass shows who's got the lead, and by 2 or 3 strides, she had the best performance of the opening leg of 200 meters of these women. She passes off there to Latasha Colander, a former North Carolina star, and that goes off to Nancine Perry, as you see Perry handing off then, and here is the woman. Hopeful of winning 5 Olympic gold medals in Sydney. She says, I'm comfortable saying it. I don't mind telling you it's my goal. I live with goals. And she certainly surpassed what she might have expected. She takes what I think is another step towards maybe those 5 Olympic gold medals. She is in great shape.
The official results, USA blue and red, a 1-2 sweep over the Maryland Elite. Let's go down to the infield for a word with the winners.
Nancine, great time. Hey, you guys don't run this very often. Do you find yourself being really cautious on the passes?
Yes, mostly because we don't get a chance to do it, and it's not that often, but it was good. We had good passes.
Okay. Now, Marion, you talked about this being a really fun meet.
Right.
What does this do for you guys as cohesion as a unit as you enter this very important Olympic year?
Oh, well, of course, it's very important to get to know your teammates. Obviously, living in the U.S., we don't got a chance to all train together. So whenever we can kind of get together and play around with some handoffs, it'll definitely help in September.
All right, well, keep it up, girls.
Thank you very much.
Some good stuff.
Smiles from the ex-Tar Heel and hook 'em horns from Nancine Perry. A world record for that foursome. The men's 4x400 meter relay is coming up at the Penn Relays. Stay with us.
Where beauty meets brawn, the GMC Envoy.
They're young, and some just think that way. The people and companies that were born digital, or reborn, as comfortable with data as the last generation was with the telephone, as long as they have the right set of tools and the right company behind them. WorldCom Generation D.
getting by isn't enough. I want to succeed. That means doing more, being smarter, performing at my best. It's a demanding life, and it uses up nutrients. New Centrum Performance helps replace them.
It starts as a complete Centrum Multi. Then we add energy essential nutrients, including increased levels of key B vitamins, antioxidants, plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance. Life demands it.
Roads can only take you where somebody else wants you to go. But the new 155 horsepower Yamaha XL 1200 has the most powerful Wave Runner engine ever made. Designed so you can have the road go wherever you want it to go. Yamaha, solid thinking for a liquid world.
We'd like to show you all 320 events at Penn Relays, but we can't. So, Larry Ross, how about a few in highlight form?
Well, it was LSU in the women's 4x100-meter championship race with their great anchor woman, Peter Gay Dowdy, running to victory in 43 and 98/100ths of a second for LSU. University of Connecticut Huskies upset the powerful Arkansas team. Holding off Sharif Kari was Dan Wilson, 4:02 on his anchor leg. And St. Malachy's from Northern Ireland defended its title, but it was really the man in second place, Southlake High School junior Alan Webb, ran 3:59.9 for 1,600 meters. You do the conversion in the mile, 4 minutes, 1 5/10 of a second, the fastest by an American high schooler in 33 years. And in the girls' 4x100 meters, it was Jamaica again, with St. Jago coming in for victory. Andrea Bliss on the anchor. Coming up next, we got the best. Michael Johnson is next.
Come to your building center and get the best service and quality from our employee owners on products like these. If years of rough winter weather and hot summer sun have taken a toll on your home's roof, then you should talk to one of the employee owners at your building center about CertainTeed roofs. CertainTeed roofs are widely acknowledged as the industry leader in innovation in product design, color performance, and warranty programs.
We care because we own it. Your building centers.
Picture this. In less than a year, my little girl will have her license. And most likely, she'll have her first ticket not long after that.
At Nationwide, our local agents offer insurance that covers the different drivers in your family. Even the ones that aren't picture perfect.
I cannot believe he's dating.
Nationwide, on your side.
Call Bob Turano or Maurice Mager in Honesdale or David Zeeler in Holly. They're on your side.
Be careful with it. What is going on? There you go. There it is, guys. That's great. Hold on a second. What are you doing? Okay. Oh, my God.
Sharks Stars, Game 2, tonight at 7:30 on ESPN.
I can't believe our director, Ralph Mollet, found this picture, but back in history, one of the great moments I had in the sport was winning the distance medley relay anchoring for Boston College. As we beat Villanova, they had won 17 of the previous 18 times. And going back into the 30s, Indiana won many times with great runners such as Don Lash anchoring for them. And who can ever forget the success in the 60s of Bullet Bob Hayes from Florida A&M? He scored here at Penn. This was the anchor leg beginning, Villanova in the background. One of the great moments I ever had.
The men's 4x400 meter relay is next on the track. The world and American record is 2 years old. U.S. national team set it. And you saw the Penn Relays record. Michael Johnson, gold medalist at 200 meters, gold medalist at 400 meters in Atlanta. And he looks ahead to the Sydney 2000 games. How about a double-double? It's more than possible.
I'm in great shape. I'm healthy. The last few years I've been able to win, but just barely in some cases and running through injuries and things like that. But now I'm healthy again, and so that's why the great times I've run so far this year. And I do think that I'm in better shape at this point than I was at this point in '96. So I'm excited, and I think that I'm in great shape at this point. I think my chances of repeating are really good.
Jack, I spoke to him, and he told me, you know, he said, I can do sprinting now. Those nagging injuries the last couple of years kept me from doing raw sprinting. But he said, I'm able to do it now, and it makes a huge difference. I'm fit. He's very relaxed here at Penn this year. Sometimes I've seen him more nervous. But the crowd has been chanting USA. They are totally into it.
It is a very busy track out there. The USA red team in lane 6 is the one that is anchored by Michael Johnson. There's also a very strong Jamaican team here.
This should be a great race. Angelo Taylor leading off the United States. Antonio Pettigrew, past world champion, is up there. This is going to be something.
2:54.20, the world record.
You have to get under 2:56, just over that, to get into the top 5 ever run. Let's see if they can do it on these windy conditions. Backstretch, you're looking at Angelo Taylor. He's out there on the left of your screen, better known as a hurdler, but he's got great raw speed. Georgia Tech star.
He was ranked number 2 in the world last year
at the hurdles. But he's got, as I say, he's got tremendous speed. You have to have that speed to run well. America running well also. Way out in lane 9, they've got Milton Campbell, former world indoor champion, and he passes off well as U.S. teams out there.
Calvin Harrison taking the baton from him. Antonio Pettigrew now running the other leg for the U.S. red team. Danny McFarland running the second leg for Jamaica.
Angelo Taylor, 45 seconds flat, a great leadoff. Now the athletes can all move out. They'll all move out into the regular 400 meters. There was a lap and a half of a stagger of this 4-lap race.
It is Pettigrew for U.S. Red, ahead of Danny McFarland for Jamaica and Calvin Harrison for U.S. Blue in third.
Jamaica, Jack, has a superb team. They really have an outstanding team. And here comes
Harrison. He's making a move, and he's gone into second place. Pettigrew,
as usual, runs a great leg. Tyree Washington for the United States. An enormous talent at 200 meters and 400 meters. 43.9 for Calvin Harrison. This is tremendous.
Tyree Washington, Leonard Bird for the U.S. Blue team, and Chris Williams for Jamaica. And Williams moving up on the backstretch.
Time for Antonio Pettigrew, 43.9. America is so deep from 400 meters down in sprints, it's unbelievable.
Tyree Washington trying to stretch it out.
And he is. He is pulled away from the field by 3 or 4 steps, running a great leg.
Here comes Bird in third place on Williams' shoulder. Williams digs down.
Michael Johnson's got the stick at 2:13 on the clock. And that unique kind of rocking chair motion. 43.7 for Tyree Washington. Enormously fast early season times.
In second place, Greg Houghton running for Jamaica. Jerome Davis of the U.S. is a stride back of him, but look at Michael Johnson go.
He hasn't increased the lead yet. Let's see what he's got his last 200 meters.
Michael Johnson, Greg Houghton, Jerome Davis.
50,000 people standing and screaming here at Penn. Watching the clock carefully. See if they get under 2:56.
Michael Johnson slowing down across the finish line in a sub-2:57 time.
Unofficially for Michael, easing up the last 4 or 5 steps, 43.8. What? I mean, these guys are in shape. This, you can tell, Jack, is an Olympic year. As the chants of USA reign. Let's listen.
Is the heartbeat of American track and field that you're hearing.
Give you an example of what you just watched. There's only been one time in history here at Penn that a team has been under 3 minutes. 3 teams were under 3 minutes here. There you see the first exchange. They're still in their lanes. U.S. has a slight lead thanks to Angelo Taylor running 45 seconds flat. There you see Antonio Pettigrew, one of the greatest relayists in history. Passes off to Tyree Washington, to the 25-year-old from San Diego. Ran a great leg. And Tyree actually opens up the margin that Michael winds up holding. He runs 43.7 officially for Tyree. Michael Johnson just powering along under comfortable control. Just tremendous running by this USA team, and the B team, if you want to call it, or the red team and blue team, both of them were outstanding.
The final official results, a 1-2 sweep for the U.S. as Jerome Davis, running the anchor leg, got past Greg Houghton of Jamaica. But the man first across the finish line, Michael Johnson, will be back with a word with the winner. Tremendous depth of the U.S. shown off with a 1-2 finish. The top team is standing by with Leslie Maxey Leonard.
All right, we're here with the men's 4x400 relay. We're going to start with you, Antonio. Should have seen that look of intensity when you took the baton. Is that the look of a man who's in his last season?
Well, I think that anytime you run here at Penn Relays, there's a lot of excitement in the air. Secondly, anytime I run second leg, and I always try to get the lead for the third person so he can come in and feel comfortable and just keep running nice and easy and run fast.
Now, Michael, you ran a 43.7 and you guys ran a meet record here. Talk a little bit about what it means for America to see you track athletes in such a high visibility event doing so well.
Well, I think it's great. The crowd was definitely hyped today with the U.S. team out there running against the Jamaicans. And I think it's a great concept. And like I said, the crowd was hyped, and they're always a great crowd here at Penn. But I think having the USA team out there got to make sure excited.
All right. And on a more personal note, you have a baby on the way. Can the man of steel survive, but not only survive, but thrive over the next 6 months with no sleep?
Well, I think so. I mean, I've worked, I've trained through the pregnancy. I'm doing good. You know, I haven't had any morning sickness or anything, so I'm doing good.
All right, so there you have it, straight from the man.
Next up, the women's 4x400 meter relay presented by the U.S. Air Force. The Soviet Union with the 1988 world record of 3:15.17. The meet record 3:28.53.
That Nike record has a good chance to go, Jack.
The lanes 1 through 5 will be open. 2 U.S. teams flanking a Nigerian team and a Jamaican team. U.S. red, the anchor Gerald Miles Clark.
Some new additions here for Jamaica competing internationally. Nigeria is going with actually a pretty deep team. As you look at Suzanne Reed, who will be leading off for the United States. This is her first year out of Texas. She had a storied high school career here at Penn, and 4 straight winning teams for her and the Lady Longhorns here at Penn in her 4 years there at school. There you're looking at Gerald Miles Clark. She is going to be anchoring for the United States team. Suzanne Reed will lead off. Michelle Collins running the second leg. Kim Graham the third. And Gerald Miles, a 4x400 meter Olympic gold medalist, as was Graham in Atlanta, will be on this relay team. U.S. blue team will have Yolanda Nelson out in lane 9. Latasha Colander running the second leg. Tanya Buford-Bailey will be third. And Chanel Porter running fourth. Nigeria in 7. Jamaica in 8 have good teams.
They're out of the blocks cleanly.
There is Jamaica in the gold outside there with a relatively new group of runners here. Sandy Richards, who will be running the second leg, is certainly world-class, trained for many years on the international scene.
Left to right, this is Yolanda Nelson, Selena Clark of Jamaica, Tayu Akinremi from Nigeria, out of Arizona State, and Suzanne Reed.
She's on the far right. They won't run staggers for 1.5 laps. You can't tell from where they are now who's really in the lead just by where they're located. But
looks
we're having
like
a good lead.
Clark is doing pretty well here on the stagger.
Right you are, Jack.
Selena Clark has put Jamaica in the lead as they come to the first exchange of the baton. She hands to Sandy Richards.
Richards, a tough seasoned competitor, trains down in Texas and Austin. Let's see what she can do against this field, if she can build the lead for Jamaica.
Latasha Colander trying to make up ground on her. This is Fatima Olakoju of Nigeria on the far right of the screen in third.
Let me add this. There's probably 10 to 15,000 fans here are Jamaican descended with a lot of flags because they cheer the high schools here, and they come from all over the East to represent their hopes and aspirations for Jamaica, as right now someone has caught Sandy Richards.
Yeah, this is Latasha Colander, who is forced to the front. And also Also a good move by Michelle Collins. She goes from 4th all the way up to 2nd now as she surges past Richards. Now the exchanges. Tanya Buford-Bailey out in front for the U.S., closely trailed by Kim Graham.
Michelle Collins' leg there, 49.5 seconds.
Yvonne Scott is either going to burn it or do something heroic. She has burst to the front.
Give it about another 20 seconds and we'll know. Maybe 25.
A whole lot of adrenaline going on there.
Kim Graham on the outside making her move.
Graham has 2nd. Graham has 1st. Scott beginning to fade.
Bailey moving up into 2nd.
U.S. 1-2 as we head toward the anchor leg. What a leg run by Kim Graham. Putting her team well in front as she hands to Gerald Miles Clark on the bell lap.
You can see what happens when you go out too fast. Look at the Jamaican runner we talked about Scott. You can't do that. Now the steady performance of Gerald Miles Clark out there in the lead for the United States team, and Chanel Porter trying to track her down.
Porter trying to close that gap very quickly in the first 100 meters. And here she's already up on Miles Clark's shoulder and going by, but they're only halfway through.
Miles Clark fighting her off. She'll keep her outside now. Tough time to take a move, I think, for Chanel Porter. Let's see what she's got left coming around this last turn. She'll have about 70 meters to go off the turn.
Her turnover is slowing down a great deal. Last time Gerald Miles Clark was here at the Penn Relays was 1996. Her husband, JJ, proposed to her at that time. She proposes to blow away her fellow anchors here.
The time unofficially 3 minutes 25 and 9/10 of a second, shattering the Penn Relays record by 2.5 seconds, and it was 50.3 seconds for Gerald Miles Clark on the anchor leg unofficially.
A 1-2 sweep for the U.S.
USA #1
and #2.
Well, the ladies ran well here today. 3:25.96 is the official time. And here you see actually a very fine leg by Selena Clark coming down the stretch, running lanes the entire way, Jack. Watch the handoff. She gets the baton into the second place hand first. And they take off. You see coming down the stretch here. This is the next exchange that we're looking at. This is Michelle Collins as she winds up passing off, and Michelle Collins pulls away here. Kim Graham in the pass. Look at the move here by Yvette Scott. You can't, you youngsters out there trying to learn running, you got to pace yourself even at 400 meters, or on the backstretch of a lap like this, someone will hand you a piano.
And it was a grand. Not just a spin it. That was the full deal.
Graham moving up from on the third leg right here as she moves the USA red team up over the USA blue team and Jamaica. And this is Gerald Miles Clark coming down the home stretch. Chanel Porter for the U.S. brings in second, and Nigeria with Fali Ogunkoya, who was a bronze medalist at the 1996 Olympic Games, gets third with Nigeria. Miles Clark again 50.3 of a second for her anchor leg.
Official results of the women's 4x400 presented by the U.S. Air Force. A red, white, and blue sweep with Jamaica in third. It is a meet record time. Gerald Miles Clark across the line first. We'll be back for more of the Penn Relays. Stay with us.
That are heroic, and they inspire us all. People like Maurice Green. And if you're a high school student, you never forget seeing him, and it provides impetus for your athletic goals.
They know the heroes of Chariots of Fire fame. Charlie Paddock, Jackson Schultz, Eric Little all ran here, as did Jesse Owens and Joan Benoit. They are known for the glory of their Olympic achievements, but also for the glory they brought to themselves and their sport by their efforts. The stars of the new century have run faster than the legends of yesteryear, but in breaking records, they have renewed our memories of the greats of the last 105 years at the Penn Relays. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Larry Rawson and Leslie Maxey Leonard, I'm Jack Edwards. Thanks for joining us at the Penn Relays.
60 miles south of Sicily, there's another island